So this is my 2015 Audi TT. Now if we take a look at the inside, specifically looking at the front, like many VW and Audi group, they have a screen. Now in my case, that is actually a virtual or digital dash. So while the digital dash comes naturally with the car, the thing that doesn't come stock, and they're going to charge you a huge fortune from the dealer, is to unlock AirPlay, Apple CarPlay, Android Autoplay, however you want to call it. That costs, I think, about £200 to unlock before you even get the car. Now for me, that's a rip-off. I think it should automatically come with that on the car, especially a newer car. 2015 plus should come with that from factory. So I guess the question is, what can be done about it? What can we do to get Apple CarPlay? Well, from what I've seen online, supposedly we can do it for free. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video, finding out if it's safe to do it and how easy is it to get Apple CarPlay unlocked on my car for free. So currently on my digital dash, if I go to the menu and scroll down, there is the telephone option. Now, if I click on this, the only thing that's in here is actually to do with making phone calls via the Bluetooth, essentially. There is nothing on here that says anything about CarPlay being available. Now, it might be a bit blurry to see, but down there on the left, you can see where I've got a USB plugged in, actually has a phone symbol. So if they've got a phone symbol with a USB, when you plug that in, it should work, right? It should just automatically be able to have CarPlay. Now, my car is the 2015. It's basically the first models that came out for this Mark III Audi TT, and it's going to be the hardest to try and get Apple CarPlay on this. If you've got a newer version, I think it's a bit simpler, but for me, it's going to be more challenging. But we're going to see if we can get it done. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth would I know how to unlock Apple CarPlay on the car? And the truth is, I don't have a clue. But when I did an interior mods video on the TT, someone commented down below saying that it is potential to unlock it, so I don't need to use a phone holder anymore. And they gave me a link to a YouTube video that kind of shows in detail exactly how to do it. So I'll leave that down in the description if you want to know more detail. But to put it simply, you don't really need a lot. All you're going to need is essentially 2 SD cards, ideally if they're 32GB. They need to be FAT32 format for the car to read it. If you're not sure what FAT32 is, give it a quick Google, it's pretty simple. You can even format 64GB SD cards into the FAT32 if you need to, which is what I had to do. So once you've got your SD cards loaded with the latest software for the Audi TT, that is step 1. So you can see in the car there are 2 SD slots, doesn't matter which one you put it in. Put in that with the newest software, and then we can start the update process. You're going to push this one on the left, the nav map and telephone one, up. The radio and media one you're going to push down and hold them down. So left one goes up, right one goes down at the same time. Hold it. Once you've held that for about 5 seconds or so. So this is what it looks like as the car's software is updating. Please note that obviously if you're messing around with an ECU or the software of the car, there are risks involved. That's not to scare you, but please just do your own research. Don't follow my video as an all-out guide. Okay, so I managed to get kind of like an intermediate update done on my TT. This being the 2015 model, it is quite late in terms of the software, it's quite old. So if we do an intermediate update, it's just a little bit safer before going straight to the newest version, which is what I've now loaded onto this SD card. So I'm going to put that into the SD slot down here, and I'm going to go through that whole update process again. Fingers crossed the second time round it'll be a bit quicker because there's not as big a gap between the updates. I mean, I guess we will find out. Car's working just as it should based on the old update, which is good to see. What I need to do here now is actually push the left side up, the right side down. So on here, this is the red menu. You can see all these different ones. You can actually go onto the version information and you can see that is the interim level. That's not what I started on. So come backing out of that one, we go to update. It will read the version description. And you can see up the top there that we're now using AU43X_P5098. Now that should be the most up-to-date TT software that's available. You can see all the things that it's going to affect. So I'm going to leave the engine running the whole time it goes through this process. There's basically less chance that it's going to cut out. Start update now that it's ready. So the process will go through. This takes, last time it took 20 minutes, so we'll see how long it takes this time, but hopefully it will be quicker. One thing that's also worth mentioning is that your key should make sure you put it in the key compartment and don't move it from there. Don't leave it in your pocket. If you accidentally leave the car, it might turn it off, etc. Just make sure the key is definitely with the car while it's doing this process as well. So with the latest possible software update on here, what I can now do is get my second SD card. What I've got loaded on here is the MIB software. It's the Basher software. Essentially, this is what unlocks the Apple CarPlay or Auto Android, as well as the navigation system as well with the maps. So this is really important. So what we can do is we can take out from in here. So from in here, we can take out the software update. So now that it's all updated with the newest software, don't need this one anymore, just put that somewhere safe. Slotting in the new one, and it goes back into SD1. With that slotted in, I'm gonna stay on that red kind of menu that we've been on previously. On this menu, I can then do the same thing I did before, where I just press the update button using SD card 1. So it's gonna load the meta information, and you can see at the top there, it says free-for-all MIB launcher version 1.2. Again, I'll just press standard. It's not going to affect basically anything other than the launcher, which is sat there. So that's perfect, that's what we want. Let's go down to the bottom, press start updating. Now this one should be a lot quicker. I'm going to keep the car running anyway. That seems fine. It said okay on launcher. Okay, that's good. So we just press resume. Cancel, yeah, version compare, that's fine. So with that now installed, what I want to show you is how you get onto like the green menu so that you can actually access that MIB software. So coming down here, you'll see the two toggles here. Before we push this one up, this one down, what we're going to do to enter the green version now is actually push both of them directly up and hold them. So holding that for about 5 seconds. There we go. So the menu looks like this. Currently the dials are in the way. Get into the green menu, the little dials at the side are now small, so you can see that nice and easily. We want the MIB, not the production, so we click on that one. So this is the initial text file. It gives you the software developers. That's all fine. We can go past all of this. So we actually want to go, there's loads of stuff in here. You can change loads of different bits. The main bit we want to unlock the Auto Android is this one here, the patch unit. Then we want to go to press where it says patch now. So never interrupt the process with the back button, caution, blah, 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 blah. Unit, yes, that's fine. So it's now doing its thing. Let it just run. So more and more things, I can scroll down to show you, more and more things will keep appearing as it's done, you'll see here. And there we go. So it's literally just popped up with a big green success screen on there, and you can see it's kind of almost divided the screen in two. So I'm just gonna give it a bit of time to sort itself out, do its reboot. Okay, so it's taking me back to the main screen, so I can just go. All this stuff is here. So what I think I actually need to do is get a phone. This is obviously my phone, it's an Android phone, but it should work for Apple as well. If I plug it into the phone slot, I can then show you what it now shows on the screen. So if we now look at the screen, you can see it says activate Auto Android. Click the button, and then I can press yes, agree to all the lovely stuff. So then I need to accept it on my phone. So accept after unlock, connect to your vehicle. Look at that. So this is exactly what I was aiming to get. Oh, here comes the music. This is now playing directly from my Spotify. It's got my Waze. It's got everything that I need up on that front screen. On the video I watched of someone doing this, it comes up with a different setting that doesn't say telephone, but says Audi smartphone, is in like a separate setting for like Auto Android or Apple CarPlay. It seems to work, and that is all that matters. So in the last clip, I think it showed getting fully unlocked, but what I'm going to talk about is actually now having had the car for a few weeks with the new software and potentially the maps and stuff unlocked. I'm going to show you how it kind of works on my car and why it's not quite 100% a good solution. This white cable here, I'm going to connect it to my phone, connect my phone in, fingers crossed. As soon as I connect my phone in, it then comes up with the option to switch to Apple CarPlay. In this case, let me turn the radio off. In this case, it instantly switches over to the CarPlay. Do you think that's it? It's sick, it works. And it is. This is Apple CarPlay, all the features work, Spotify, Waze, everything. I can even scroll across. So I can now use this dial here essentially, and as I click through these, you can see it's clicking through everything, and it works. You can see I get my messages, my maps, all the apps, everything I need, all working on here. Now this is great. My only problem, if I then go to settings, that balls it all up. So what I mean by this is now it's on settings. Can you see how the icon that was here for Apple CarPlay, that's now disappeared. So Apple CarPlay isn't fully unlocked. It kind of gets messed up with the settings. It gets itself a bit confused. So now I'm on settings. If I go back over to here and I go switch to Apple CarPlay, it doesn't switch back to the Apple CarPlay. It's now stuck on settings. Now, I keep getting this problem where it comes up with settings and then I can't get onto the CarPlay. If you've done anything like this down in the comments and you know what the issue is and you have a solution for me, please let me know down in the comments because it's really frustrating. It basically works seamlessly other than this one little issue where the settings comes up. Now, what I find is I'll get in the car, I'll plug in the phone, it works perfectly the first time. I then, I don't know, pop to the gym, get back in the car, and then the settings symbol is there, and I can't get onto the CarPlay, and it's so frustrating. If you've got a newer model of the TT, or just a newer model of an Audi or a VW, I'm pretty sure they have the symbol on there for the AirPlay kind of built in. And what I think is the only difference between essentially the virtual dash, because the virtual dashboard at the front here is identical. So this dashboard here is identical to the newest Audi TT as far as I'm aware, the actual dash is. The thing that's different was what I showed down in here earlier where the phone connects in. This whole module in here is only applicable to the older cars. They actually upgraded that to a version that essentially, I'm assuming, is then able to support Apple CarPlay. So there may never be a proper solution for me. However, it does work most of the time and is so much better than trying to put my phone on a little magnet holder on the vents that always falls off. So overall, the fact it was literally free, other than the fact I had to buy some SD cards, which I could use anyway now for the camera footage, for me, it was literally free and was definitely worthwhile getting it done. So hopefully today's video has kind of proved to you that you don't necessarily need a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, and you don't need to fork out a load of money if you want to unlock some hidden features on your car. That is it for this video. If you did enjoy, please give it a like and subscribe. There's more content to come on the Audi TT as well as other car content as well. Stick around for that, but I'll catch you in the next one.